He's All India rank 155 at the civil
Wow.
services, and he's about to become an IAS
He's
cadre.
he's the youngest one who has cracked IAS 155th rank, and very motivating session, sir. So we have lots of people who are already pumped up with energy. So we want more energy from you. So we are all more excited and ready for the session. So Kalyan, if we are configured Facebook Live, then we are good to go.
No, we are good.
Are we? Can we start?
Yeah, definitely.
Congrats.
Do we have our co-chair with us?
No, we don't have the co-chair, so I can do the introduction in case.
Superb. Thank you very much. Hi all, good evening everyone to YI's learning session. I'm very excited to announce that today is our 57th session of learning after the coronavirus. So thanks to coronavirus, we have so many live sessions with so many top celebrity people and so many informative sessions. So thank you everyone for your continual support. So today we have yet another very knowledgeable, very informative speaker here with us, Dr. Karthik, who is already there. So you can introduce yourself in the chat box so that you will get an idea of who's there in the session. So we are also live in Facebook. So thank you very much. Yesterday's session was a grand hit, which went around 20,000 hits in Facebook. So thank you everyone for that as well. So we have the speaker here with us. I request Kalyan to officially begin this session, and apologies for me taking this call in car. Sorry for that. So Kalyan, over to you to officially begin the session. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Ram, and thank you, Karthik, for immediately accepting our invite to enlighten us on adaptive 360-degree entrepreneurship, which is a really new topic that we are looking at. And as a Stanford grad, I am very eager to actually listen to this session as well. So just to give a brief introduction about YI, Young Indians is an integral part of Confederation of Indian Industry, CAI. So we are 51 chapters across India. We have 3,500 members, and we have close to 30,000 UA students as a part of our network. So we work on three major pillars of activities, being thought leadership, youth leadership, and nation building. So all our verticals, activities, everything is aligned towards these three pillars. And with no much delay, I would like to call upon Ram to do the speaker introduction. Ram, over to you.
Thank you, Kalyan. The speaker here with us is very famous in Facebook. Don't need any introduction at all. But as a protocol, I'll introduce him formally. It was multiple pages of introduction, but I have made it very small, and I'm going to read it out. He is based out of Namakkal, a southern district like us. Dr. Karthik Ram is one of the youngest, finest, and most sought-after cosmetic surgeon in the country. He's propelled by MRCS degree from Edinburgh, an intensive training program from reputed centers across the globe. His work is definitely behind the most perfectly positioned bodies we see on screen and off screen. He has had the privilege of being trained from the topmost doctors like Dr. Henry Mentz from Texas, Dr. Satish Vas and Dr. Gowda from Detroit, and Dr. Venkat Ramakrishnan from St. Andrews, UK. Dr. Karthik, his brainchild is Chennai Plastic Surgery, one-stop solution for all skin care, hair care, and body-related cosmetic issues. So within the year of conception with soaring success, Chennai Plastic Surgery went national as Cosmoglitz International Private Limited, making its service available in all metros, and it's still continuing to expand. So he has clients over more than 35 countries and nationalities. So without much delay, I hand over this e-learning floor to Dr. Karthik to enlighten us on 360-degree entrepreneurship. Dr. Karthik, the e-learning floor is all yours. Please enlighten us. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity, Kalyan and Ram. And initially, when Ram asked me to talk about the business people, I'm a little shocked because most of my talks are for the students and the plastic surgery students and the doctor community, are for the public to educate about something related to the medical field. And then I sit back and see, when I invited, I need to do some justice to the crowd. Then I started thinking about my journey. Okay, how everybody knows, coming from a small town and settling in Chennai and trying to establish our services in Chennai and other places, a lot of difficulties. In fact, I studied in Tamil medium only, so even my language is, I have a lot of problem in the language and expressing myself in that other language, English, and I struggled a lot in the initial phases. Then I realized, okay, we'll talk about where are the places we struggled and how we become an entrepreneur. You don't believe, I know the entrepreneur word only after finishing my plastic surgery. I don't even know the meaning for the entrepreneur till I finish my plastic surgery. That is how my exposure, and like you guys have a lot of exposure at this stage, because a lot of speakers from Tamil Nadu now educating about the entrepreneurship. A lot of good speakers. Even I'm inspired with a lot of talks from Kumaravel sir, and like he's one of my inspiration. Naturals Kumaravel sir, and he's one of my inspiration. And to begin with, my first entrepreneur whom I come across in my life is my great grandmother. கொள்ளுப்பாட்டின்னு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல. See, I want to talk in English more, though I struggle to talk in English, but still a lot of my students from all over India, as well as a lot of other city people also there. So I don't want to be rude talking in Tamil. So my great grandmother is my whom I have seen as an entrepreneur. My grandmother's mother. So she used to sell milk and buttermilk during the age of 85-90. Okay, she doesn't want to depend on my grandmother or my grandfather. She wants to individually have a financial freedom. So she used to sell, like 1 tumbler milk this price and 1 tumbler buttermilk this price. And even she used to like recruit people. All my classmates will come and like the பருத்தி உரிச்சு கொடுப்பாங்கல, that so அதெல்லாம் கொடுத்துட்டு she'll pay us 5 paisa or 10 paisa for 1 hour. That is how she recruits people and get the work done from us. So that is my first. She used to give us 5 paise for getting like that time the kuchi ice, that stick ice will be cost you 5 rupees, and that semi ice cost you 15 paise. So that's how like we all used to go and get money from my great grandmother only, because nobody else gives some money for this time kind of thing that time. So after her, as I said, my I even come to know about entrepreneur word after my plastic surgery only. So basically, if you see, we all are entrepreneurs. If you take our caveman, he used to fight for the food, and he has to fight for his survival, and he has to design and plan everything for his survival and the food. So basically, we are all designed to be an entrepreneur. But what happens during the civilization? The laborers and labor thing become a norm. Everybody want to work for somebody. That is because of the civilization. But what the problem with our human race is, we all follow the crowd. We all like a crab, like how we catch the crab in the sea. Usually there will be a big cage kind of thing with multiple holes. There will be 2 big holes in the top. So they keep some fishes for the crab in the base of the cage, and they put the cage inside the sea. So once that crab, what it does, one crab goes inside and goes in to get the fish, all the crabs will go back. Like that's how we always, the human race also does. Even though the crab knows it's after some time it's trying to come out, it's difficult to come out, but it never, even if he tries to come out, other crabs will pull it down. Okay, exactly, it suits for the human race. Okay, so say example, that labor thing is different. So everybody wants to become an engineer or medicine. When I finish my when I finish my 10th standard only, I know there is a 2 groups called first group, second group. It's like the specialty groups. So then I decided to take a biology group, and when I'm reaching that stage only, I know there is something called engineering and medicine. We have to only focus on engineering and medicine. We don't know anything. So that is our exposure at that time. Like from Namakkal, I don't like expect so much exposure, but that's how we went. So what we do is, everybody will follow the others, which is safe, which is not safe. So we all jump into the pit, like engineering and medicine. I don't feel bad about it. So somehow, like I survived. But the the crabs which pulls you down are your close relatives only. Maybe your parents or your close friends. Like they're all afraid of you because when I when you see, like say example, even our cosmetic surgeries, people are hesitant to come for surgery because they only come to know about the bad things only in their memory. For example, if I ask to come on male breast correction surgery, your parents will come and say that, doctor, I read somewhere here one mishappening happened there. Like only the bad things come into their mind. They try to stop the guy going for a surgery. Same thing applies to all the areas. When we wanting to jump out of the crowd and wanting to do something different from others, we'll be restrained to do from that by our close relatives only. So obviously they are not doing just because they don't want you to grow, because they are afraid. Other thing is they also wanting to become like you, but they can't do it because they are already stuck somewhere. Like that freedom is not there for them. You're going, and most of the time your loved ones wanting you to control. Like they want you to control all the time. Like they don't want you to be free from their control and wanting to grow on your own, because they feel still you're a child. You haven't you don't know much, so they want you to stop every time when you're wanting to explore a new areas. So this is a story I always tell about the crab and how that we follow the human how humans follow like a crab and jump into the pool. So second, uh, now we see in my journey, I gave the heading like adaptive 360-degree entrepreneurship. Where are all the places I adopted? Sometimes even I change my passion. See, I don't believe in the term I'm so passionate about this. This is my passion. Like I always feel, see, if you feel that way and trying to do whatever you're passionate about, sometimes your whole life will be ruined. In the end of your end of your life, you are trying to do the same passion what you're trying to achieve. So what I have done is, it might not be correct. It applies to me, but most of the time it helps in a lot of people. Even my whomever I guided, it helped till today. See, wherever I go, I develop interest. That's how I do. So see, initially during my 12th standard, my interest is in engineering. I scored very low in not very low, but I don't get the good engineering college, so I skipped engineering and joined medicine. Though my parents wanting me to go, they gave option, whatever your choice, but I don't get a good college, so I joined in medicine. So I developed interest in medicine after that, because I am so passionate about maths and engineering. I didn't stuck there. So I again started creating interest in medicine, and then I developed interest in surgical specialty, because end of the medicine career, I decided, okay, I'm becoming a surgical. I'll become a surgeon. So I joined in Stanley Medical College after that for the surgery. After the surgery, my interest is surgical gastroenterology, where we operate on the intestine, stomach, and other things. That was so passionate about, because I've seen most of the units, surgical gastroenterologists are so powerful than other departments. So I want to be powerful, so I want to become a surgical gastroenterologist. But that time, the only 3 seats are available in Tamil Nadu at that time. So if you had to be highly competent enough to get the 3 seats, that time I've seen even very, very talented persons, they struggle 4-5 years or 6-7 years to get into that surgical gastro after big struggle. So I don't want to waste my time. Then I saw an ad in the Indian Express. They're taking the postgraduate super specialty graduates for the plastic surgery from Apollo. That time my professor Dr. Venkateswamy is a very known plastic surgeon. He is also from Madurai only, basically. Across the world, he's quite popular. So he's conducting the course. Then I joined plastic surgery, though that is my last option. Then I developed interest in the plastic surgery, and that too cosmetic surgery. Then I realized, okay, now only my goal, till that time, I don't have any goal. In fact, even after general surgery, I wanted to go and settle in Namakkal and wanting to become a general surgeon, because super specialty might not be needed at this stage in Namakkal. So I want to become a general surgeon. My father only pushed me out, asked me to go and read somewhere, some more and come. And the plastics, when I finished plastic surgery only, I realized I have some goals. Why God pushed me to take the plastic surgery as a specialty? Because during my college days, I personally have a cosmetic issue. I developed that, like the female kind of a breast development that's called male breast development or the gynecomastia. So usually the guys have a small female kind of a breast development. It looks very odd. You can see a lot of people around. So almost 70% of the Indians have this issue. I was having that problem and I was struggling with the problem and psychologically so much upset about that issue during my school days. And then subsequently, when I went to medical college, seniors guided me to get it operated because till that time, I don't know there is a solution for that. Then I told my parents, then I came to Chennai and got it operated. Then I realized, okay, I entered the plastic surgery. I struggled. I know the psychological upset, like bullying by the other colleagues or the students, and it all deep into my mind. I decided, okay, my goal is to make lot of people happy who are all struggling from the cosmetic surgical problems. See, I had this issue. Some people have a deviated nose, crooked nose. Some people have a completely, like post pregnancy. If you see like a lot of sagging breast and the tummy, loose skin, people keep asking you are pregnant or not. Some people have a asymmetrical, abnormal breast. They're very ashamed of themselves. And sometimes we do a facelift, neck lift, and small corrections in the face and nose and body parts. How much it makes the patients happy. That happiness only makes me grow more and more. Okay, then that part. So think about me. At the age of 30, 31 only, I set my goals. Okay, so don't think that goals will come for everybody in the initial stages itself. Even I think a few of the students are also watching. The 10th, 12th standard students are also watching. So the goals will keep, as I said, it might occur any age for anybody. Same way, new goals will appear in subsequent years also. Don't think that that's the only goal. In fact, at this stage, after 10, 12 years of my practice, now I feel I need to educate a lot of parents and a lot of teachers about the teenage students and their problems and their, like how to manage the teenage. That is my next goal, because we also run a school in Namakkal. The school where I studied is Tamil medium school. Now it becomes a, like every language. And so I manage the school also, like not it started, but I want to start teaching a lot of teachers and the parents about the teenage boys. And so once I fixed the goal, okay, I want to work as a cosmetic surgeon. So I was taken by Apollo as a consultant in Apollo initially. Then I realized I need to have my own practice, because the hospitals will provide you only 1 hour slot, because you can see only one hour the patients. After that, you have to go out. That's how it is. So within a 1 hour, you have to see patients. So I don't like it. So I want to see the patients that whole day. So I want to start a center, OP center. That time only the Chennai plastic surgery started, because during my second year, I visited the St. Andrews, the hospital in Essex. The St. Andrews Hospital, it is a very specialized unit in UK. This is my first foreign trip. I spoke about it in a recent video also. It's quite interesting. If you guys have time, just watch it. So the first foreign trip, I learned a lot. So when I went to UK and observed the plastic surgery unit there, that is a specialized unit for the burns and the hand and the microvascular surgery. Okay, I was wondering how all the patients come to the particular place. See, if you take the hospitals in India, Chennai, or wherever, if a plastic surgery unit means all the plastic surgical cases will come. There, only the specialized cases will come. I was wondering how they get the specialized cases in UK, why we can't get it in India. Then I realized they market, they get the particular kind of case. All the hospitals around, they'll refer the particular kind of case. Then I realized, if you're wanting to do something and if you're wanting to help somebody, you need to tell the world that I'm doing that. Unless otherwise you tell the world that I'm doing that, how will they know that you're doing good? So obviously you have to market. I don't know at that time. Nobody has a website. None of the doctors has a website that time. As soon as I finished my plastic surgical course, what I did is I developed a website for a plastic surgery for my practice. Don't believe, I have a secretary that time itself, not the hospital provided. I have my own special secretary because I saw that UK style, how they are working. I want to implement at least a little bit here by doing the same way. I used to, like very, like astonished to see my consultant. He doesn't even know what is the surgery for today. He called the secretary that day morning. Okay, what is the case today? Then only he knows what is the case. Here we have to follow the patient. We only know everything. Okay, that they're so systematically go approach everything, and they'll have system for everything. So it is happening now. I follow the same thing. I don't even know what is the surgery today. Only I, as long as my call my secretary. So I enjoy doing those things. Okay, I become a plastic surgery, cosmetic surgery unit. I started the Chennai plastic surgery. That time I met Kumarvel sir, who is running natural salons. Okay, I saw natural salons everywhere. I thought, okay, keeping a pamphlet in the naturals. Okay, so I as I said, I already developed a website, and I want to reach a lot of people who has the cosmetic issue. Problem with in India is nobody knows there is a solution for the problem. They all have the problem. They want to get it corrected. They get upset about it every day, but they don't even know that there is a solution for it. And so that's the reason I want to reach a lot of people and educate them about the cosmetic procedures. That is my first issue what I faced during my initial days of practice. So I approached Kumarvel sir and asked, sir, can I keep a pamphlets in your all the salons so that people will see the pamphlets and come to me for those kind of procedures? He said, I don't know. I don't think it will work, but you can try it. No problem. Actually, we kept a lot of pamphlets across, and it hasn't a big success though. But Kumarvel sir only initiated a spark in me and trying me to like explore and branch out in various places. That time I used to get a lot of clients from Bangalore. So I thought, why can't I open up other center in Bangalore so that we can address the people from Bangalore also there itself, because they have to travel. See that even surgery they are willing to come here, but for the even consultation, reviews and everything, they don't. It's very difficult for them to come every time to Chennai. So we opened a center called Cosmoglades in Bangalore. Okay. Our aim is to achieve 60 cases. 60 cases, because normally we do as a every cosmetic surgeon initial days of our practice, we do 5 to 7 surgeries or maximum 15 surgeries in a month. That's what each surgeon's volume. So, but we want to achieve something, target 60. We want to achieve 60 surgeries. That aim we work really hard. I start my work at 4 o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock, I go to Saravana Bhavan in that Radhakrishnan Road. 4:30, they'll start giving a coffee. I have coffee there, sit in the car, think about the day and what is the plan for today, and what is the like multiple meetings will be there, and a lot of new projects, a lot of new ideas, a lot of marketing related ideas. We work really hard from, I think, morning 4 to night 9:30, 10 we work, and in between surgeries, in between OPs, everything we manage. So that's how we are planning to achieve the target 60. See, if you have a passion, that passion become mastery only when you do a hard work. Okay, the passion alone won't make you a master. You have to work really hard to achieve the mastery in that particular field. Unless otherwise you are not working hard, it won't reach. But understand that. So when I do one surgery, I become I can do a better surgery in even one surgery. But when I do a 2,500 surgery, my expertise level will definitely become very high and become a mastery. This applies to every field. Every field, you have to understand that. And from that time onwards, my problem started. Okay, when I fixed the target, like 60. That time I trained other plastic surgeon also along with me. So he was also helping me in all the surgeries, and he also, I trained to do the most of the surgeries alone. So the first blow for me is I was suspended from the medical council. So sudden surprise on birthday, they called me for some meeting. So that time we run a journal called Beauty Because. I am the editor of the Beauty Because. The idea of that's a free magazine. Idea of the magazine is, see, a lot of that time, lot of non-medical people set up the cosmetic centers, and a lot of people go there. And because doctors are not supposed to advertise, but non-medical people can advertise to get the more clients. So that time, a lot of false advertisements come, and the people become prey for that. So what I want to do is, I want to give a clear information to the public so that they'll be aware of these procedures, so they won't go and get into a trouble. That's the reason we started the magazine. See, they said that you are the editor-in-chief that is against medical ethics. Come and report. So I went there and I told, sorry, sir, these are all the things. They gave a lot of other issues also. One more thing, what I did is, I started what is it called? Some association with naturals, where we see, if you have a hair fall, what you'll do? You'll, when they cut the hair, you ask the salon person, hair fall, what can I do? That's what we normally ask. Okay, we want to reach out you there itself, and we can guide you better, because that guy is not knowledgeable or not knowledgeable enough to guide you better. So we thought, why can't we set up a center of cosmoclates inside the naturals, so the doctors will guide the person directly there. Like these kind of things. Yeah, that time my energy is so much. See, when you have a freedom, a lot of creativity will come, because till that plastic surgery, like your parents are controlling you. Once you are on your own, we want to explore a lot of new areas. So a lot of creative ideas. So we explored those creative ideas, a lot of creative ideas, nothing with the patient issues. So all these things, medical council says it's wrong. See, when we are all getting that MBBS degree, they give a medical ethics book. One book they'll give. We never read that book. We all feel, okay, what is good for the patient is good for the doctors, good for it's ethics. That's what our idea is. But a lot of rules are different in ethics. Though a lot of other senior plastic surgeons are doing the same thing, but our medical council said these are all wrong. So I was suspended from the medical council for 6 months. I was so shocked. So see, the center has to run. No, I can't work, because the suspension means you can't work for 6 months. So I can't work. How I am going to run the center? What I am going to do for the employees? Then that good thing came. I trained a plastic surgeon already. So he was managing the center. Dr. Arvind was managing the center in my absence, and I got a 6 months holiday. In my peak of my career, nobody will give you 6 months holiday, but they reduced to 3.5 months. At the end of the day, I went and spoke to everybody, and I said, "Doctor, sorry, really sorry." I basically begged every medical council member to relieve me, because no patient complaint, no patient related queries, all marketing related things. My photograph coming up for the magazine and those kind of things. So 3.5 months, I roamed almost 7 countries and learned a lot of new things. And like there's a big break when I like re-educated myself and a lot of new learning, a lot of new things. I went to Bulgaria, Malaysia, Singapore, UK, US, Belgium, a lot of places, Amsterdam, a lot of new conferences I attended. I educated myself. So I had a big fall. I trained luckily other doctor. So he managed, I educated myself this level. So target 60 still it's in a dream only. Only now target 15 only happening because I was not there in the city. So then comes the, okay, that I'm relieved. After, see, when you get suspended, no, most of the doctors says something happened, he's not good. All these bad rumors also roaming around the city. So I lost the practice. So then we tried our best and we did market so many areas. We want to strengthen our name, and then we came back to the practice almost to the level it was earlier. In 4 months time, I again bounced back to the level where I was. Then usually, like that month of October, November, December only our peak months. Usually international travelers. Actually, Ram missed something. Actually, not 35 countries. We treat almost 85 countries clients across the world. So because few reasons they come here. One is we are cheaper than that place. other countries like Africa, they don't have these procedures there. So these are the two reasons they come here. Not because we are super cool, super good. We make them happy though, but this is the two reasons they come here. So almost we treated 85 countries clients across the world. And so October, November, December only our peak volume usually comes. So what happens in that the first year after my suspension, first year, we expecting target 60 has to be reached during this month. What happened is flood. Chennai floods. Completely Chennai drowned, and all all our 60 target 60 plan drowned in the flood itself. So we haven't reached target 60. So we are doing 30, 20 kind of, till we haven't reached the target 60. But we work really hard. You don't even believe. My working hours is 4 o'clock in the morning to night 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the night. That's how I work. So, okay, that year over. Okay, we all compromise saying that, okay, this year flood has come. Next year, same time, hurricane has come, cyclone has come. So that time also everything, because the foreign travelers are the major volume for me. So still that cosmetic surgery is still evolving here. A lot of international travelers will come. When there is a mishappening here, they don't want to travel to Chennai. So they stop traveling. So that is also gone. Okay, that year over. Still we think, okay, we want to go to the target 60. We work hard really. And third blow. So fourth blow. Okay. The cosmetic surgeries have a service tax, 18% service tax. Each cosmetic surgery, the patient has to pay 18% service tax to the government. So initial days of my practice, I don't even know. Okay. So what happened is, initial first 1.5 years of my practice, I haven't collected the cost, the GST, now that time service tax from the patient. So I haven't paid. Once the cosmoclates company, we performed at the private limited company, then, finance people come, then we regularize the whole thing. Hospitals also haven't informed me about it. So suddenly that day I'm leaving to New York, that day morning, GST rate, the service tax rate. They came and took all our thing back, and they said, you're doing good for the last 4 years, but initially that 1 year, 1.5 years, you haven't paid the service tax. Not knowing the rule is not our problem. You have to pay with the interest and penalty. That works almost going to every day. I went to New York. Only my staff will represent me in the GST office that day, that 1 week. And subsequently 6 months we struggled. Actually, they're very, very good people, GST people. They helped us in so many ways to, because they know it's not our fault. Okay, it's a very, very clean department, GST it's a intelligence thing, it's GST intelligence thing. So that 6 months gone. So all our earning, we paid almost a crore, almost 60, 70 lakhs we paid, because with the 4 years interest and penalty and everything, we don't have see, as a doctor, I don't know anything about it. So I have to depend on other people for managing these things. So the GST has, whatever we earned a little, just gone. And next comes the attrition. Okay, next year, see, we are almost successful. We did up to 58 surgeries 1 month, almost nearing. And consistently, we are doing more than 50 surgeries continuously after that. Then comes the attrition. Doctors have started leaving because almost 5 years, they learned a lot of things. It's very, bad in my part to hold them back. They want to leave. So I have, one point of time, I have 3 plastic surgeons working for me, 5, 6 doctors working in other specialties like dermatology and other things. Today, I'm only doctor available in the center. Everybody left. Actually, it's a good thing one way, because during this COVID situation, we had to slow down. Actually, my expenditures and my, the expenditures have come down because a lot of doctors already left. So as Ram told, it's not a very, very big company. We become big, as now we are into the basement. Don't worry, we'll again bounce back and reach the same level. That is how entrepreneur journey going to be. You remember the Starbucks 2008 or 2007? They almost gone. Okay, almost they are about to close the thing. Again, they bounce back. A lot of entrepreneurs are here. It is how entrepreneur journey going to be. Okay, you want the adrenaline rush. You want to go. If you want you to slow down, you can't slow down. That is your mentality. You want to be the out of box. You want to do creative things. You want to do creative ideas. You don't go behind the money, but you know you need money because you want to invest for the next project. That's the reason you're wanting to earn money. So when money will come, you put into other project. Again, you other project will come, other new idea will come, you put into other project. That is how your entrepreneurial journey. I don't think most of the entrepreneurs are very passionate to earn money. They wanting to be passionate about something. They want to do new things. For that, they need money. That's how it is. So these are all the adoptions I made in subsequent. Every year, I've done a lot of new interventions and like new procedures, and our specialty all over the world. We are specialized in few areas. All over the world, people come to us. For example, the multiple fat balls surgeries, we are very specialized in, and we are specialized in the male breast corrections without giving any scar, and we are specialized in lot the fat transfer procedures. We are doing a lot of new procedures which nobody else does. That's all we developed because we got the volume of people for the surgery, and we are having a chances to do a lot of new procedures on the patient safely. So what is the 360-degree things? I am a surgeon. I'm a plastic surgeon. I don't have any exposure in administration or marketing or finance and those things. But when you are an entrepreneur, you want to become an entrepreneur, you need to know everything. At least every area you need to know something. Otherwise, very difficult. Administration, never we taught anything about administration during our medical college period. Marketing, nil. And finance, completely nil. If I know the finance well, definitely the GST issue would haven't come to me. You got the point? So this is how the entrepreneurial journey. So every areas you need to know something. If you're not aware, if you're not knowing that area, try to learn or appoint somebody very good in that area so that they can teach you more, or they can manage that part. For example, if I'm not good in finance, appoint a good person who is good in finance so that they can manage the area where you're weaker. That's what you would understand. So 360-degree entrepreneurship, you need to manage all the things. When you're stronger, I'm good in marketing, so I manage the marketing, because most of the time, other mistakes what the most of the entrepreneurs does is, for example, social media. You to the social media guys, they'll manage. No, because the base knowledge about your profession, you only knows. So you have to sit with them, guide them properly, then they let them manage the social media. If you're not giving that guidance, it's waste. You only know the pulse of your clients and pulse of your profession. Accordingly, you market. So this area, okay, this country, if you market this time, you will get the patients. This country, you have all we target the countries, that country when there is a holiday, address that we focus marketing during that time, try to get the volume there. So like that only we treat. And a lot of travel after the UK travel made me understand their culture, so that it's easy to communicate with the international clients also. So every time God will give you some signals, you have to catch it. For example, the natural things, the association, we have planned to do multiple centers in naturals. Initially, we had tried in only one center. Each center, my expenditure is going to be almost 30 lakhs, buying the machine and keeping it in the natural salon. If I have done for 5 centers, then the medical council came back and said, no, it is wrong. My loss is very, very huge. So God will help you there to stop that itself. You got the point? So same way, every time, sometimes you need to slow down. Okay, God will give you that information. Okay, you have to take that information from there in the form of cyclone or any way. That GST also, after the GST happened, we streamlined the finance so much, because as a doctor, I don't know anything about finance. So again, then I need to dig into it. Okay, what is the things we are keeping it clear and not keeping it clear? So I'll dig into the GST, the finance things. Then I regularize the finance. So GST make me clear all my financial related things. So God will give you each and every person's some kind of information. You have to take it. Same way, keep the goals static or add a new goal, but you can change the road. Okay, not necessary to take the same road. Sometimes some hindrance will come, change the route, but you have to reach the goal. That's how we have to understand. And same way, focus on your strength and manage your weakness. Strength means not the strength what you have. The strength means if you do that, I'll feel like energized. I feel very happy. That is your strength. Understand that. It is not what you're good at. It is which makes you happy. For example, if I do surgery, I'll be very happy. Okay, whatever that emotional ups and down I have, if I go to the surgery, I'll forget everything. That is my strength. Same way, when I talk in the media, if I give a information and some education to the public, I feel very good. That is my strength. If somebody talk about finance to me, I'll feel very tired. That is my weakness. Okay, you have to. So I need to have some very strong person for finance. You have to manage that for sure, but focus on your strength. That is where you grow, and like you have to manage the weakness. That you have to understand. And the innovation in the entrepreneur life, innovation is very, very, very important. See, why should a patient come to me? Like a lot of plastic surgeons across the world, why should they come to me? There should be some innovation. There should be some specialized thing. You only do it. Okay. How will you identify the innovation? How will you find out, okay, this area we can innovate? Wherever the consumer has the problem, that is the area you can concentrate to innovate. Earlier, what we do, we'll give the money to the watchman and get the food from the hotel. Okay. Somebody see it. Swiggy came, Uber came. Okay. Where there is a problem, identify the problem in the community or your profession, and that is the area your innovation has to be. So that is how it has to go. Same way, don't think that all successful people, there is no emotional ups and downs. Everybody go through a roller coaster ride. Every day will be surprise. Every day will be something, like bad will happen. But how fast you bounce back from the problem only, matters a lot. You should not stick with the problem for 1 year and say that my life is gone. Okay, over. This part of my life is over. Okay, bounce back. Concentrate. See, any ups and emotional ups and down, your passion and your mastery is focused and properly you're going through it. This emotional ups and downs will automatically clear the way. That is only take you to the end. Understand that. That is very, very important, because everybody will go through the emotional ups and downs, but definitely it has to be very short-lived. And as Gandhi said, all the entrepreneurs, this will be the true. First, they ignore you. Then they laugh at you. Then they fight with you. Then you win. Okay, that is applies to most of the. If you take any big successful persons like Bill Gates, and you name anybody, Oprah, everybody are ridiculed and bullied and laughed by the peers and the other colleagues. They all won. Okay, when you're doing something out of box and doing something different, even your family members will laugh at you. Okay, it applies to every area, So that is how the entrepreneurs are. Okay, we are different. Everybody have entrepreneurial skills, but we don't dig into it. And I think one more thing is take a calculative risk. Like when you're doing a project, you make the pros and cons, and always have an exit plan. Don't stick with a failure projects and hit for a longer time just for the prestige. We also do the mistake sometimes. Bangalore center is not doing a good revenue, but still we just maintain for the prestige. It's the wrong thing. So we all hope that one day it will become all right. But take the exit plan proper, so it will be easy for you. So I covered most of my topics, but if you guys permit, this time I want to give at least 5 minutes talk about COVID. If you guys are okay?
Sir, definitely, Karthik, you can go ahead and because that is a need of the hour as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, obviously, because this is my journey. That's how I know. If you ask a lot of questions in entrepreneurial things, I don't know whether I can answer it now. That's not my specialty. I just jumped and swim. And this is a COVID situation. Everybody have to understand. That is my, like very, very passionate to talk about it, because unless otherwise everybody knows about it, we can't come out of this issue stronger, faster. So the COVID is like a common cold kind of a virus. Okay, it's a common cold virus. Okay, out of 7 coronavirus types, everybody should have got one virus, the 4 viruses. Okay, the dangerous 3 are SARS virus and MERS virus and this COVID-19. Why these 3 are very difficult to manage is because the MERS and SARS have a very high mortality rate. This because the COVID-19 major problem is even the asymptomatic people are carriers and spreading the disease, and nobody knows whom get affected, whom not get affected. Okay, how will we come out of this COVID-19 pandemic? That is a basic thing everybody wanting to know, everybody wanting to come out of this problem faster, every industry. So unless otherwise, you guys follow the precautions, wearing a mask and social distancing and washing the hands. If you see, everybody in the community follow this properly. Understand the word properly. Nobody does it properly. That's the problem. If, say example, if 100 people are there, 60 people follow it properly, the 30 people, it's fine. Okay, you develop the immunity in the community. It's called herd immunity. Even vaccine comes, this is going to be the same. Okay, if you vaccinate 70 people in the circle, in 100 people living in a circle, 70 people you give a immunity, people develop a herd immunity in the community. Okay, that's how the vaccine also works. Unless otherwise, everybody follow the masking and that the hand sanitizer and distancing properly, it is difficult to come out of the community for sure. For example, I have some mask here. Okay, say example, this is a N90, one of the N95 masks. This outer surface of the mask should not be handled by you anytime, because when you're wearing a mask, always check whether it's covered completely. You're talking to somebody or somebody is talking to you, the virus particle is sticking in the outer surface of the mask. What we do, we tend to adjust because it comes down like this. You'll keep again touch here, touch here. When you touch the outer surface of the mask, you have to understand this is infected. Your hand is infected. Immediately you have to use a sanitizer to clean your hand. It has to, அது கூசணும் அப்படியே, ஐயோ கையை தொட்டுட்டமே அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு கை கூசணும். It has to go to the sanitizer. Okay. Same way, this cloth mask won't even prevent one virus particle to not to enter. No role of cloth mask in N90 with this COVID-19. Cloth mask won't stop any virus. Okay, you have to use N95. This N95 has a 90% prevention. 90% viral particle will be prevented by the N95. Okay, the surgical mask, normally wearing a surgical mask, I don't know where it is. The surgical mask will provide 60% prevention. This N95 mask, 90% prevention. So understand this. Wearing a mask for a longer time, nothing will happen. Only the only thing is we are not used to it. That's the only thing which makes you feel like gasping or feel like tired or everything, because we are not used to it. I've shown in my social media so many times. I used to wear a N95 over the surgical mask and I walk for 45 minutes. Your oxygen saturation is the same. Okay. So if you feel that, okay, if I do the exercise, I wear a mask and I do exercise, I'll become sick, then first person to get affected is the doctors in the surgical theaters, because you wear the mask and do surgeries for 3-4 hours without any issues. Understand? So nothing goes wrong if you're wearing a mask properly and for a longer time. But we are not used to it. You have to train yourself. First wear mask for 10 minutes, then 30 minutes. You have to train yourself at home, then to the office. Same way, office goers wearing a mask for a longer time, this strap becomes loose, that nose, it becomes here and stands in the nose. When you want to talk, we want to remove the mask. Most of the people do it. That is the only time they have to wear the mask. But they remove the mask when they want to talk, because this coronavirus spread by talking. especially the meetings, when they're talking loud, the spread will be more. I understand that. I see a lot of like political meetings and other places, they all remove the mask and talk. They're infecting every people around them. They have to be very careful about it. So this mask is one thing. Second thing, the hand sanitizer. Each and every surface you touch outside your home, you have to consider this, your hand is contaminated. You have to immediately sanitize. Okay, as you think, it is not a simple virus. It's very, very difficult virus to manage. Even the immunity, the vaccines, what they found out is the vaccines will kill the virus in the lungs and the other tissues, not in the throat. Okay, even vaccine comes, the virus is not going to get away from the community. It is going to stay there, but only it won't affect that dangerous part where the lungs are affected, hearts are affected. That won't be there. It becomes one of the common cold with sore throat and common cold fever. That kind of symptoms will going to persist with this COVID-19 virus. Only after the vaccination, this dreadful part will become better. So even after vaccination comes, unless otherwise you follow everything, why we are pushing you people to do all those things is to reduce the mortality in your area. Because if everybody follows, death rate will definitely come down in your area. You have to understand that. Same way, the other problem about that COVID-19 is silent hypoxia. I spoke about a lot of media. The problem is the patient will be looking normal for everybody, but suddenly they collapse. They'll develop a breathing difficulty. When they take the patient to the hospital, already 50% lung is gone, 60% lung is gone. So that is the patients are very difficult to treat and bring them back. So how will you identify it? So even you are at home, we call it as a 40 steps walking pulse oximeter values. You have to walk 40 meters, 40 steps or 40 meters, and then you come back and check your pulse oximeter values. If it is more than 97, 98 or 99, you're safe. Okay, above 96 and 97 is good. Yours is 92 or 93, you are already going into the hypoxia state without your knowledge. So at that time, if you go to the hospital immediately, they can survive you. They can help you to come out of this issue faster. When it is going below 90 and going to the hospital, is very difficult to save you. That's what you have to understand. So pulse oximeter should be at the home and check everybody. Even normal people, you have to check every day twice, so that if that silent hypoxia can be picked up earlier, so that you can save a person. So now you understand social distance. You don't unnecessarily go and party in friend's place or a meeting in the friend's place. Still, we have not come through. Everybody get bored, no doubt about it. But if you are not following everything properly, you're actually doing some harm to your community. Understand this. If you want to really help your community get out of it, you want to reduce the numbers in Madurai, obviously everybody have to follow it properly. Then only the numbers in Madurai will come down. My numbers in Chennai will come down. Numbers in Coimbatore will come down. If you're not following, see, if this discipline comes to everybody, how many waves comes we can easily manage. To understand that.
Nice, sir. Nicely said. Okay.
Superb, doctor. That was an amazing session. A lot learning from you. எப்படி நீங்க கஷ்டத்துல இருந்து திருப்பி பவுன்ஸ் பேக் பண்ணீங்க, எப்படி திருப்பி வாழ்க்கை உங்களை அடிச்சது, நான் எவ்வளவு அடிச்சாலும் நான் தாங்குவேன்றதுக்கு ஒரு பெர்ஃபெக்ட் எக்ஸாம்பிள் நீங்க. It's an inspiration for a lot of entrepreneurs here. Thank you very much, Doctor. Kalyan, can we go ahead with the questions, please?
Yeah. So there is no questions till now. Maybe like I can ask one question to Doctor. So Doctor,
Yes,
like you saw like you have been collaborating with other vertical Kumaravil sir பத்தி சொல்லிருந்தீங்க. So நீங்க ஒரு காம்படிட்டரா பார்க்காம how collaboration can be a beneficiary for your growth அப்படின்றத பத்தி கொஞ்சம் டீடைலா பேசிட்டீங்கன்னா இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் நல்லா இருக்கும் டாக்டர்.
See, more than the collaboration, see, I haven't seen my growth there. I've seen my like the patient's need there. See, it's all like mutual, but the collaboration with the Kumaravil sir, why it becomes failed is one of the rules in medical ethics is associating with a non-medical professional for a professional reason is against medical ethics. It's very complex, but these kind of things we don't even know, because a lot of people do it still. But this kind of a complex thing. Then we went back, and once I got suspended only, I read the book completely and tried to understand what are the things they are trying to like penalize me. So Kumarvel's things, see, always collaborating with the people, you have to see few things. Okay, are their culture and your culture is the same? The work culture. Okay, that is very important. The attitude has to be matched, and the company's culture has to match to be successful in the particular that joint venture. The example that you guys know, the Disney got the Pixar company. If the business people might know that Disney company got the Pixar company. That's the Bill Gates company. Okay, first thing what they wanting to know is how that both the cultures are same or it's different. Those are the things that are evaluated much deeper, because acquiring a new company and going inside that company and doing the work is extremely difficult if your culture is not matching. That is one major thing. And because I know Kumarvel sir, and he is a motivator for me, I know very well about him. So he know how he pushes me to do things, and he want me to source. He's very upset about me till today because I haven't expanded after this suspension thing, because it's so complex, because medical ethics is completely different. It's not like how we are expanding the salons. So I slowed down that time. So he's very upset about it, but still he's a very good friend of mine.
Nicely said, sir. So there is one question from the audience, but I'm unable to unmute Roy. So I'll just ask the question on behalf of them. So there is the question is like doctors have a very big challenge in replicating their skill. Okay, so you need to find right people, groom them, and then retaining them. Again, you told you had an issue with attrition. So how do you overcome that challenge when you are opening branches? Because like you cannot go and sit in all your branches, right? How you are mitigating that is the question basically. Very nice question, actually.
Very nice question. I haven't come over this because still that is a problem for me, because Bangalore center I have to go, the Perangudi center I have to go. When I go, patients will come. The problem is, see, I tell all the youngsters only one thing: every doctor will be successful if they do only one thing. Consider you in the patient position, or your relative. You may be your father, mother in the patient's position, and think what you expect from the doctor. Okay, if you 1 minute think about it, you will do the very, very good thing for the patient and very, very good thing for the client who came to us. The problem with the most of the youngsters is they want to do all the complex surgeries the day one itself. For example, facelift and neck lift surgery, it took almost 5-7 years to understand the concept and start doing my first surgery. I've seen a lot of surgeries done by other people and keep thinking about it. You have to, when you do the surgery, you have to completely understand anatomy there. Okay, and you have to visit why you need to do it. Since you want to do it, you should not push somebody which is not needed. That's also there. So the youngsters' problem is they want to explore the complex surgeries in the initial stage itself and burn their hands. So start with the simple things, because everything won't come easily. See, in the age in the பேசுவாரு எல்லாரும் அவரும் அப்படிதான் பண்ணிருக்காரு சொல்லுவாங்க. பட் அப்படி கிடையாது. அப்படி பண்ணதுல நிறைய விஷயத்துல நாங்க மாட்டியிருக்கோம். காம்ப்ளிகேஷன் ஆயிருக்கு. அதுல ஸ்ட்ரகிள் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். அவங்கள பேஷண்ட்ஸ்க்கு காம்ப்ளிகேஷன் ஆச்சுன்னா அவங்கள வந்து நம்ம யோசிச்சு பார்க்கணும். நம்மளுக்கு அந்த காம்ப்ளிகேஷன் ஆச்சுன்னா நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? ஓகே, அப்படி யோசிச்சோம்னா நம்ம காம்ப்ளிகேஷன் ஆன பேஷண்ட்டுமே என்னோட ரொம்ப குட் பேஷண்ட்ஸ் இன்னுமே என்கிட்ட வருவாங்க. பிகாஸ் கூட இருந்து அவங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணி அந்த காம்ப்ளிகேஷன் பத்தி எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணி அதுல இருந்து வெளில வரதுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணணும். See, most of the time we explain எல்லா காம்ப்ளிகேஷனும் before the surgery, but still sometimes it happens. We have to sit with the patient. He'll be the best patient of you if you making them all right and send them back. That's what very, very important for any doctor. And same way as you asked the question, what you asked, very difficult. You can teach the skills and teach that's a major problem in me in expanding the business. Like everybody expect the same thing what I do. See, each doctor is different. They're special. They're good in something, but what they expect in me, sometimes I can't completely give to the other doctor who is under me.
Super, nicely answered.
Super. That was an amazing answer, doctor. I have a question. I think Dr. Mithran has a question. Is it Kalyan?
No, Mithran came on the video. I think
I thought he's going to ask some question.
Mithran and Karthik are friends or what? I don't know.
Actually, you have a very good cosmetic surgeon in Madurai.
Sheetal.
Yes.
Oh, she's online. Yeah,
Mithran's wife.
Mrs. Mithran, Dr. Mithran. Mithran, you want to say something, doctor? You'll have to unmute yourself. Kalyan, you'll have to unmute. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Mithran. Yeah, very much audible,
Yes.
Mithran.
Sir, hi. I just wanted to
Hi,
say hi to
Nitin.
you, sir. It is going to
Because
be very tough. Actually, for all of your information, Sheetal was working under Dr. Karthik Ram for cosmetic surgery. So, sir,
that's
it is
what
going to be a tough time in Madurai to start cosmetic surgery, sir.
that's what I told you. Guys have a very good cosmetic surgeon because Sheetal, I trained her and she's extremely good. And most of the complex procedures she understood, and she's ready for any kind of a cosmetic procedures. So you can boldly approach Sheetal for any kind of a cosmetic work.
So I think Chennai cosmetic surgery cannot open a branch in Madurai.
See, that's how I plan nowadays. What I'm doing is I'm not taking a permanent doctor. I'm taking a doctors across the country. One girl from Hyderabad with me for 6 months and got trained and went back and starting her own center. And one guy from Delhi came, and because of the COVID things, he went back. And Sheetal came from Madurai. I thought when I want to give, see, if you do something good, it has to reach a lot of people. Okay, I believe in strongly in my surgical things because I'm making patient very happy. Not the surgery is only 60% or 50%. Remaining 50%, understanding what they exactly want and understanding that part and doing exactly the same thing to the patient is important. What I want to do the patient is different. What the patient wants is very important. So I want to train a lot of people, and the same way how I treat my patients, and it has to, this culture has to spread across the India and wherever. So we have to make lot of people happy. That seeing the happiness after the surgery and seeing the results, that gives us a very big high. Nothing will make you that much high. You have to understand that.
True.
Superb, doctor.
Hope
That
to
was
see you
a
at
great
Madurai for the
insight.
initial days, sir.
I think a doctor is, I mean, God is giving a signal again to start a training institute for cosmetic, I guess. As you said, it always gives you signal.
We'll bounce back. We'll make an institute soon.
Exactly,
Super,
sir.
nice.
So one last question about tattoos. So today is the trend of tattoos. Many people want to keep tattoos. Is it good or bad? What do you think about tattoos? Some small insight about what tattoos is.
It's definitely bad. Why I'm saying it's bad is human mind is so, like very unpredictable. Today you put the tattoo. Okay, after a week, after a year, you don't like the tattoo. Tattoo is not like like sticker. You can't remove it as it is. Even if you're going for a laser tattoo removal, almost 70-80% of the pigment can be removed. Remaining 30% will stay back. Say example, one guy wanting to like the tattoo the girlfriend's name, the girlfriend gone, the tattoo will be there. It's a very common thing what we see. They come back, they want to say, I want to completely erase it. If you do a laser tattoo removal, also only 30%, then like 70% will go, 30% stay back. He keep coming back saying that it reminds me, doctor, do something. He wants to cut it completely, remove it. That will be a scar. Then the scar will remain there. Same thing happened to any tattoo. That why you put that tattoo that you will be come out of that maturity and go to the next level maturity, you feel that bad. Obviously, better not to tattoo it.
Yeah, I think there was a reason why Ram was asking this, but
No reason at all. We'll take it offline. Thank you. Thank you very much, doctor. It was a very amazing insight you gave on all aspects, medicine, entrepreneurship, and lot many things. Thank you very much. We had a nice session. So Kalyan, I request you to unmute everyone to give a big round of applause for the speaker today with us, Kalyan.
Yeah, sure, I'm doing that.
So I request all audience to please unmute yourself and give a big round of applause to our doctor here. Thank you very much for an amazing session. So weekend well spent, doctor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ram. Thank you, Ram.
Well said, doctor. Well said.
Fine.
So I'm muting all the audience. Okay.
So thank you, doctor. Kalyan, over to you for the closing remarks, please.
Sure. Thanks, Ram. And thank you, doctor, for a very wonderful session on 360-degree adaptive leadership and entrepreneurship. So I can see one thing that I noticed first thing when you turned on the video was all your hobbies are just behind you, are on your table, basically, like aquarium with proper aquascaping and guitar. And you can see collection of antiques and artworks, which was a really good thing and very nice about you, sir. And I think you're on mute, I believe.
My room has 7 Buddhas.
Oh, okay. Good.
Nice, we all need a lot of positivity. So I use allowed to keep a Buddha.
Sure, sir. Nice.
My room has 13 elephants, Kalyan.
Okay. I love horses and I have a lot of horses in my room, basically. Okay, good. So nice thing about it. And as the evolution by nature selection is a very interesting topic. And based on that, like, I mean, all the things that you told about adaptation and things that's like, it falls under 3 different types of adaptation: behavioral, psychological, and structure. And you gave us real world examples on how you applied that in your entrepreneurial journey. From a professional converting into an entrepreneur is actually a good thing that you shared, and about your struggles. And you gave a real example how entrepreneur journey is a roller coaster ride. It was very neatly and very beautifully said, and it was a very good session. Thank you again. Thank you, Ram, for bringing the great speaker, and I hope again this is going to make a big round of viral in Facebook Live again. Thank you all.
Thank you, Kalyan. We have another exciting session on Monday. So tomorrow it's all holiday for everyone. Enjoy and come back on Monday. Stay safe. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Have a happy weekend. And Jai Hind. Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.